positivity and doing the little things. That's the maturity that we've shown, post All-Star break, just being able to be there for each other on and off the court. Off the court, most importantly, of just, telling each other that we're going to be okay and just keep believing. And, the text threads that we have, it just goes a long way just for our emotions. This is a new space for a lot of guys on the team, including myself as one of the leaders on the team. This is one of the hardest series I've ever played. So, just the focus level has to be at a level that reflects that, we have what it takes to win, but also we understand that we're not going to get there without guys feeling like their best selves. And that's what we like to speak on, is just being honest about the way we approach our games and, knowing the difference when we're very much well-connected and then also when we're kind of splintered and the game is flowing in a different direction and we're not being there for each other enough or touching each other enough in our huddle. So we know the difference, we feel it, and I think tonight we showed each other, again, how to respond to tough losses.
Also, just to add on to that, how does it, what's the emphasis to lead by example from both of you two?
It's something that we've been held accountable for since the beginning of the season by J. Kidd, by Nico, by Michael Finley. They told us from the beginning of the year that it was going to start with us and it was going to challenge us. This season was going to challenge us, to be better as leaders. Last year we knew all the voices that were kind of coming down on us, telling us that we weren't going to make it to the playoffs and we weren't going to do anything. So we know what it felt like to fail then. And then this season we just had a great approach and next man up mentality. And, once we made our trade, then we pretty much knew what we were striving for. And the mission has been the same since then. So just doing the little things for each other and feeling good and smiling through the tough times.
Kyrie, OKC gives up a lot of threes there in the corner. I think PJ was able to bench off that in the last 3 games. And then tonight it was Derrick Jones Jr., especially in the first half. Just what did you see from him being able to step up and knock that shot down? Yeah,
I'm proud of him, man. I'm proud of all our guys. But when you're getting that opportunity to be in the corner and get those open threes, we have a lot of confidence that you'll knock it down. And it's going to be somebody's night it's going to be somebody different. It's going to be somebody's night. How am I trying to say this? It's going to be, I'm over here it's going to be somebody. Yeah, you guys know what I'm saying, man. I'm sorry for the people at home. I haven't eaten yet, so my mind is a little discombobulated, man. But yeah, it's going to be somebody's night every night. I don't mean to be smiling over here all this, but yeah, for us, I think that's the strength of our team is our depth. And when we have guys making shots like that, it creates separation throughout the game, and it allows us to really just pace ourselves to a certain degree because they have to play us honestly. And when our guys are making shots, especially threes out of the corner or that wing, it creates a lot of opportunities for me and Luka to get downhill because they're showing a lot of help. They're showing a lot of bodies. They're keeping somebody on me that's athletic, that's going to make it tough on me. So I don't mind giving myself up in order to create other opportunities for my teammates, and I like to see them do well.
You mentioned this is one of the hardest series you've ever played. Is it because of how they're defending you, throwing multiple bodies at you?
It's just really just the pace and just the physicality. And, last series was physical too, and the pace was a little different. But I think just this series it's challenged me physically, mentally, emotionally, and I've accepted that. And I've focused on the things that I can control and focused on getting my guys going early. And, however the game plays out, it's going to play out. But I'm really laying my hat on the defensive end and giving a lot of effort and just trying to make the right plays offensively. They're putting 3 on the ball at times for me, and I could obviously take a lot of tough shots, and I think that's coming in the near future when it's needed. But for right now, just reading the game and allowing the basketball guys to shower me with a lot of love when you're playing the right way. Because again, I've spoken on this a few times, but just internally as a young player, it's when I was a little bit younger, it was easy for me to kind of throw away the good stuff that I was doing because I want to focus on my scoring. And I know how many people want me to focus on my scoring, right, that are not in the locker room. So don't want to fall into that trap. Really want to focus on the positive vibes that are given to me from my teammates, and they're going to find me when it's time, but I love finding them just as much. And when you can leave out of a tough environment like OKC with the win, you really got to celebrate that. And we obviously have 2 games in between, but we're going against number 1 team in the West, and they're playing like it, man. So I got to give respect to those young guys, and they're going to bring it Game 6, and we'll be prepared.
How would you describe the defensive identity that you guys created really over the last 6 weeks of the season and then has carried over in the playoffs?
Say that one more time.
The defensive identity of this team?
We've just grown, and we've allowed our trust in one another's skill sets to really flourish. We have guys that enjoy defending, but they also get tired. So we're going to need our depth to really come through and really provide us with that spark off the bench. You saw Jaden Hardy come in, and I'm so proud of that young guy tonight where he really gave us a lift off the bench. He was really aggressive, and it may not show up in the stat sheet that he was, shooting a bunch of shots. And, he shot 5 shots. He was 1 for 5. But I think for us, energy-wise, having that trust in him and him being so young in a semifinal playoff game, Game 5, could go either way, shows the trust that J-Kid has him in as well. And, there was just tremendous effort for him. And then everybody that came off the bench tonight gave us something that we needed in the game. And, D-Live was a plus 22 tonight, and it just reflects how we feel about each other when we're playing at that level where we can basically go out there in that game and just play basketball. Instead of worrying about the X's and O's, we just worry about playing basketball and our style of basketball. So I think that identity on the defensive end has really created an opportunity for us to really showcase our skill sets and showcase different guys doing the little things for us to win.
When Luka came in here, he basically said he made a point that he wasn't going to be complaining the rest tonight. He wasn't going to use any energy toward that. He wanted to focus on basketball and having fun playing basketball.
That's good to hear.
When he does that, what difference do you see?
I think, he's just being smart and, taking advice from the guys that have been in situations like this before and trusting that we have his back. Some of the times when he's going to the refs, he really feels like that's an individual thing, and I think he could speak on it too. He's in the moment. He's very emotional, as we all are as competitors, but, the bigger picture is what matters. And him focusing his energy on the right places and, specifically focusing on his shots and also doing the little things for us on the defensive end, getting rebounds like he's doing and he's been doing all season, it works well for us. So, I think he can learn from this tonight as well as all of us and, just continue to affirm to himself that when he is focused on just his game and he's focused on doing the right things, then we flourish as a team. So, again, I'm not going to sit up here and complain about him when he gets on the refs like the refs are perfect either. I'm not going to do that. And I got to give my brother a little benefit of the doubt. Sometimes it is warranted to get on the guys that are refereeing the game. But, I think he found a healthy balance tonight where he was just really focused on getting us going offensively and making the right plays and making sure that we kept our foot on the gas pedal. That's one thing that he's done as an engine on this team. One of the engines, one of the leaders of just keeping us calm, keeping us poised.
They scored a playoff low 92 points, but post game they seemed to like a lot of the shots that they got. They said their process was pretty good. I'm just curious, from your side defensively. I mean, did you feel like you guys had a good sharp night, or was some of them missing shots?
I mean, basketball is an imperfect game, and after you look at it. Once you look at the film, I think you'll find the answers. But based off how we feel after the game, that could be one thing. I look at it. I felt like when we were out there, just really managing the game well and managing the lead, that was a good space for us to be in, and it was all created from our defensive stops. So when we're getting out in transition and they're not able to get back, or we see a lot of mismatches, that works in our favor. And then. When we know how skilled Shea is, and he played 42 minutes tonight, so he was giving a lot of effort on that end. We knew that we had to take advantage of different opportunities on him on the defensive end and putting him in spaces where he was either going to foul or he was either going to get a block or one of our bigs were going to score. So, we're just trying to utilize our overall skill set and depth of just making sure that we continue to push the ball. And, the most well-conditioned team usually wins the series and doing the little things consistently. So we felt like we're in a good place, but we can still get better.
Kai, you don't mind me calling you Kai?
Yeah.
Oh, no, my bad.
Or a little mountain, AI.
Yeah. A sentiment that's kind of been echoed, with some of the young guys is, a sense of calm heading into games like this, game changer, game deciding games in a series like this. When you look back to, even when you were entering the league and even now where you are dealing with the ruckus of the crowd like you were talking about, what has that leadership role been with some of the younger guys in the locker room to, keep them level-headed and, how do you even still try to keep that same mindset for yourself nowadays?
Yeah, I genuinely try to give our guys positive affirmations. And, even when we lost the other night, I took a lot of the accountability for how the game ended, just because I felt like there were some shots that I rushed. They were good shots, but I just felt like I got to my spot and I wasn't really focused on making it enough. And, just knowing that I have a sense of peace about me, and also I can consistently stay poised even if, we're in a crazy environment. This is just something that has been a skill set of mine, right? So I think they look to me for that sense of calmness, right? That sense of peace. And when we come into games like this, I don't want them to feel like it's a game 5. It's really just going to be a tough, hard-nosed game where we're going to be required to do the right things and the little things and be confident, and also speak to your teammates confidently as well. These games can go either way, and win, lose, or draw, I tell them that they're my brothers. So there's no pressure on us to consistently be perfect. It's going to be an imperfect game. I try to prepare them as best I can, and I also try to allow them to experience it firsthand as a leader. You got to allow them to make those mistakes and then learn from it. So that's what I just can stay consistent on as best I can, is affirming to them that it's going to be tough, it's going to be hard, so just embrace it. Embrace the nerves, embrace the anxiety, and embrace the fears that you may have. But once we leave out of this huddle, we're together. So you're never going to feel alone out there, and if you do, just flag down one of the veterans, flag down one of the guys that give you that, positivity, and just move on. Because turnovers, just like the other night, or just the pace of the game, we splintered, and we felt that. And we looked at the tape, and we didn't want that to be the feeling that we had again coming into the locker room. We were up 14, and and then we were up 8, and then we were up 6, and then we were up 3, and then Dort hits a big 3, and then now the crowd's out of it, and now we're looking like we don't want to push the ball up as much as possible. So we just got to stay aggressive and continue to win the quarters. That's the focus.
I'm sorry. Other than the 2 throwaways there at the end of the season, you guys haven't lost 2 in a row in forever. What kind of source of pride is that, and is that a product of tweaks from the coaching staff, or just you guys, the resiliency, or what do you attribute that to?
I attribute that to our team environment that we've created, from the top of our hierarchy, our GM, our president, our governors, all the way down to the culture that we're creating as players, and the coaching staff with Jay Kidd leading his guys. Everybody has a specific role that they play on this team, and we do our best to collaborate on some of our ideas, and we try to give each other a lot of confidence to continue to do the things that we work on. And when that happens, I feel like good things can create opportunities, and that could lead to success or failure. So for us, we're just really feeling like we're in the trenches.